Roger Stone right now, his fate is being decided by a judge. Welcome back. Mike Cernovich, Cernovich.com. If I'm a little out of breath, I was running around, scrambling, trying to get you the latest news here. So right now, Roger's fate is being decided by a federal judge. Will he be sent to jail or won't he? We don't know. We will see. It's going to happen any minute. Here, we'll just hang out, talk about Roger. We'll talk about Roger any moment. Very tense right now. Very tense atmosphere outside of the courtroom. Nobody knows yet, but I'm monitoring the situation in real time. It was a rough day for Roger because the life of Roger Stone is weird unless you live in this bizarro media world. So Roger is always with an entourage, so to speak. He's always with an entourage, and it's like the same 5 to 8 guys. So everybody knows he travels with there's these like Haitians who are pro-Trump Haitians. They live in Florida. You see him at a lot of rallies. He's usually with a couple of them. He's usually with, I think Jacob is the guy's name, his grandson. He's with a bunch of people. So they all post to his Instagram. They all post to his Instagram. So for me, if somebody said, hey, Roger claims that someone posted it to his Instagram, I'm like, yeah, I mean, duh, he lets people post to his stuff all the time. But if you're this judge, this world that all of us take for granted is peculiar, right? It's very, very, very complicated. So the judge is thinking, I don't know. I don't really believe you, right? Because it sounds weird. So we are just waiting. The court is now in session, and we are just waiting and monitoring it in real time. Now, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, so I'm monitoring it via network of sources, via people who are there. And we should find out any minute if Roger is going to be, booked. This is a very scary day for Roger and for anyone, in fact, because based on what he's looking at, he might never be in jail. Remember when people said locked her up? Actually, no. If you follow my timeline, I had always said that Trump should have just pardoned Hillary Clinton. So if you're going to come into my periscopes and my streams, then you should probably, get informed on what I actually believe. So the judge is now saying that she does not believe Roger Stone is all talk. She felt threatened by the post, so this is looking bad. So let's monitor this in real time together. The judge is saying that she does not think it was all talk and that she was very afraid, that she was very, very, very afraid, and that it wasn't just all talk. So it's looking bad for Roger. The question is going to be, will he merely get a gag order issued on him? Will she raise his bail, change his bail conditions? That is what we are going to have to figure out right now. Will it be enough for bail conditions? We don't know, but it is sounding quite bad for Roger. The judge is saying that Roger Stone has decided to pursue a strategy of attacking others. Stones couldn't keep his story straight. The Instagram post had a more sinister message. This is looking very, 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 very bad for Roger. Roger, this is not good. It's looking more and more likely. It's looking more and more likely that Roger is going to be either locked up or his pretrial detention conditions will change dramatically. So the latest in the Roger Stone, the judge said Stone has decided to pursue a legal strategy of attacking others. She did not believe his story. She said he couldn't keep it straight. And she said the Instagram post had a sinister message. This is the latest Roger Stone. We are now waiting She does not accept the apology. The judge has refused to accept Roger Stone's apology. The judge has refused to accept Roger Stone's apology. So this is bad for Roger. The judge has now said that it looks like it is quite hollow. The apology rings quite hollow. This is looking really bad for Roger. It looks like the apology came. Now, I believe it was sincere, actually. I believe it was quite sincere. But the judge is saying that this is not a credible apology, that she does not believe him. So Mr. Roger Stone is really in a bad place right now, and it is looking like jail, pretrial detention is quite a credible threat. The judge, though, is still talking. We are updating this as soon as we get more information, as soon as we find out more. But it is not good for Roger. So here we go. What concerns me is the fact that he chose to use his public platform and chose to express himself in a manner that can incite others. So Roger is looking even worse. Is looking even worse by the minute. So the judge says Stone is someone who is by an own account has made communications his life work. The apology rings quite hollow. So they are very worried right now about the incitement. People are very worried right now about incitement. Everybody's on edge. So this is looking bad for Roger. I don't think that he sincerely meant. So it's going to be a full-on gag order. Full gag order, that makes sense. The question is whether Roger's going to go to jail. To me, I think the gag order was a no-brainer. So gag order was a no-brainer for me. That's why I entitled this Periscope, Will Roger Stone Go to Jail? Because there was no question that there was going to be a significant gag order issued. So that, for me, was not even really a question, right? That, for me, is not even a question. It's not even remotely interesting because everybody who's anybody knew that there's a gag order. So Judge Jackson notes that Stone is charged with witness intimidation and says his release poses a danger to the community. So Roger Stone is going to jail, it looks like. It looks like Roger Stone is going to jail. Okay, so Roger Stone, it's official. Roger Stone is going to be held. Roger Stone is going to be held. Roger Stone's release poses a danger to the community. Judge says Stone will be taken into custody and held while he awaits trial. So that is the latest here, folks. Roger Stone is going to jail. That is the latest. And that is Roger Stone. It appears that he is going to jail. So he was, because of that social media post, he's going to jail. So that is the latest. Judge Jackson says Stone is charged for witness intimidation and says that his release poses a danger to the community. So that is where it is. So his release is being modified. Hold on. Maybe he's not. His risk. Hold on. Let's make sure we're reading this correctly. This is all developing. I have people by the courthouse texting me. I have it all coming in. Have everybody coming in. It sounds to me, based on what I've said, that he's going to jail, but maybe they're only going to change the current conditions. Let's see. Again, but whatever the case is, looking bad for Roger. Roger is having a So a lot of people say it's dumb. Sure, there's a difference between a stupid social media post and a throwing someone in jail, right? That's the problem. Um, that is the problem. So here we have now more from the judge, more from Judge Jackson. This is Zoe Tillman here reporting. The privilege, the liberty he was afforded was promptly abused. You are right about that, Mr. Stone. If the conduct of the past weekend is what Mr. Stone would call judicious, it would be foolhardy for the court to take no action and learn what injudicious looks like. Yeah, I mean, this is federal court, people. This is federal court. This is how federal court looks like. This is the way it operates. It is not a, how do you say? Okay, so maybe he's not going to jail. Hold on, let's see. Maybe he's not going to jail. We will double check that. He may be getting away with only a gag order. Hold on, he might be getting away with a gag order now. We will see. Okay, so he's lucked out. Okay, Roger Stone lucked out. It appears he is not going to be incarcerated. Roger Stone appears to have lucked out. Whew. If all he got is a gag order, whew, if that's all Roger got was a gag order, he got off lucky. A gag order was a no-brainer. Okay, a gag order is a no-brainer. Gag order is a no-brainer. That is good. It was looking like he was going to be incarcerated, people. It was looking bad for Roger. Well, I mean, this is still, Kathy, good to see you. I'm going to send you a DM. I just saw your DM. I'm catching up. Good to see you, my friend Kathy. Okay. Whew. All right. That was the barn burner. The judge was talking about jail, so he lucked out. Whew. Whew. Okay. Heart attack averted. Heart attack averted. A gag order was a no-brainer. Again, there was never any question that he was going to get a gag order. That was a no-brainer, right? That was never a question. So Roger Stone is getting off easily. Not easily. I don't want to put it that way. But what is happening to Roger Stone is to be expected, right? It's to be. You can't troll federal judges. You cannot troll federal judges. Rule of thumb. They take these things very seriously, and they're the aristocrats. A federal judge, they are the elite of the elite. Oh, I thought Roger was going to go to jail. If you had wanted to bet and you'd given me good odds, I would have given you better than even odds that Roger was going to go to jail. It was that he would get a gag order would not even be an interesting argument. It, to me, wasn't even a question that he was going to get a gag order. Wasn't even debatable. If somebody had told me I don't think Roger would get a gag order imposed on him, I would say, well, you just don't really know anything then, because that is clearly going to happen. Now, jail, I thought 65% that he was going to go to jail. If you had said, I want to, wager, I would have said, I'll give you better than even odds you go to jail. So Roger got, whether you want to call it lucky, 9 lives, call it what you will, but Roger really got lucky. This is really, 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 really got lucky. Really got lucky, because I thought for sure, well, not for sure. I thought in terms of, you never think for sure. You think in terms of probabilities. And the probabilities were that Roger was going to be sent to jail. That was where the smart money was. Sometimes you luck out. Roger Stone. Get me Roger Stone. Get me Roger Stone. A lot of trouble. By the way, I don't think he deserved jail for this. I don't think he deserved jail for this. I don't think he knew that thing was a logo. That was a case of confirmation bias, and people were seeing things. They take on a more nefarious purpose, so to speak. So I don't think that was intended to be a target directed at her, but it's a federal judge, man. You can't mess with federal judges. It ain't the usual. It ain't the usual. All right, friends. Thanks for watching. Mike Cernovich, Cernovich.com. Thank you for joining this roller coaster ride of a case. Roger Stone not going to jail. It looked like he was. He's being subject to a very restrictive gag order. But in my view, big relief. I'm sure he's relieved. I hope he meditates or something. I'll be right back. 5 minutes, new segment.